Hi, everyone. Welcome to today's Philly Codefest workshop, How to Get Involved in AI, presented by the Drexel AI Group. Today we have Alicia Gustin. She is the president of the Drexel AI Group, and she'll be speaking about AI, how to get involved. The theme of this year's Philly Codefest is societal AI and societal impact. So the Drexel AI Group is going to work with us a lot over the next month and a half to bring everybody up to speed and provide as much information as we can to help you get ready for a Code Fest with AI information. So if you have not already registered for Philly Code Fest, I'll be putting the link to the registration into the chat. We welcome everybody, whether you're in AI or CS or anything. CodeFest is open to everything, beginners to people with experience. It's a great event. It's a great week. We have a lot of great workshops and events planned that we'll be announcing shortly. So with that, let me turn things over to Alicia, and she'll take us through how to get involved with AI. Alicia, take it away.
Awesome. So as it was said, hi, my name is Alicia. I'm the current president of Drexel AI, and let's go ahead and get started. So there are like a couple steps that you should consider when starting AI. First step is choosing a programming language. Now, there are a lot of programming languages you can choose from for like coding in general. And for AI, the most commonly used one is Python, but I've seen other people use JavaScript or R and a bunch of other languages. I personally recommend using Python since there's more a wider range of libraries you can use for AI or machine learning, and there are just more resources to look onto about with Python and AI. So that's the first step. Also, if you have questions, feel free to put them in the chat or wait till the end. Doesn't matter to me. Second step is having a general understanding of the math involved. Now, I'm not saying be like a whole math whiz about everything, because like there's a broad range of math that like a lot of people need to know for AI, but it honestly depends on what you want to do. What I mean by general understanding, like most of AI just has like some probability, some like basic probability, basic statistics, linear algebra, or like depending on like how deep into AI you want to get, maybe calculus, like multivariable calculus. So having I would say, general knowledge, surface level, just a little bit of math involved is important. So when they tell you, do you really need to know math for AI? You do to an extent. It honestly depends on the discipline and the area that you want to go into. So that's the second step. The third step is either follow tutorials or take some classes just to hear from someone else on what AI is about, how can I use it. At Drexel, they do have some classes relating to AI and machine learning. Majority of them are CS classes, so if you're a CS major, just want to take CS classes for like electives. There's CS 380, which is artificial intelligence, CS 383, which is machine learning, CS 385, which is evolutionary computing, CS 387, which is game AI development, CS 481, which is advanced artificial intelligence, and EC 310, which is machine learning practicum. That is within the College of Engineering. Most of these classes have like a lot of prereqs, so make sure you look at those before you start taking it. I think EC 310, I think that's the class that has like the least amount of prerequisites. That one is definitely application-based machine learning, so you can like, it's more hands-on. You get to like start going into it really early. I think the prereq is like CS 172 and like a beginner engineering programming class. So that's how you can, start dipping your feet a little bit into the whole world of AI at Drexel, in terms of like your classes. If you don't want to do it at Drexel, there are online resources and classes you can take to learn AI. There's a bunch on Coursera. There's a few that I was recommended to, and I've taken I've taken 2 of them, except for one. But there's a machine learning course by Stanford University that's on Coursera. That's free. There's one called AI for Everyone. That's also Coursera. That's free. And there's another one called Deep Learning by deeplearning.ai. And that's also on Coursera. So those are the 3 that I've been recommended to. There's a bunch others in Coursera. I think there's a collection. I'll probably link it after this, but a whole collection of different courses you could take that can help you understand AI and some of the prerequisites that I mentioned earlier with the math and the programming. Sorry. Besides Coursera, there's like the MIT OpenCourseWare has like AI material you can look at, just take a glimpse and like know a little bit. Did you say that? I mean, when I took it, it was free. I mean, if it's not free, then that's totally my fault if I just gave the wrong information. But there some of the like courses that you have to like pay for, you can like audit for free, like instead of just like getting a grade for it or something. I'm pretty sure you can like audit Coursera courses if you want. So yeah. You can also go to like data camp. That I think that one might be paid, but that's also a good source. They have like different articles that are like free to look at. There's like a whole bunch of online courses. You just gotta like search deep into the internet to find it. So yeah. And the last thing you should do, which is very important, all this stuff, you got to figure out, you can't just have all this knowledge and like not apply it anywhere. So at Drexel, what you could do is, there are a lot of research opportunities at Drexel, as we all know. Do the STAR program or VIP. And they have different research projects that relate to AI, whether that be just like deep learning, or like, I think like some of them have like wireless systems with AI, signal processing with AI, like a whole bunch. And you can also reach out to different professors within the college, whichever college you may be a part of, because they might have similar research interests to you as you. So you can reach out to them, and they'll be happy to like talk with you more about the field, and even like do a project with you for like the term, for credit or not. It's whichever one you prefer. Another thing that you could do to apply your knowledge of AI is to find co-ops that that include working with AI applications. There's a bunch on when you like look for co-ops, just read the descriptions, and if they involve machine learning, go for it and ask, regardless of your experience. Like, they'll be happy with that. You can also look outside the co-op job system as well for it. Most of the job positions, like some of it's like research assistants. There's backend. For those who want to do web development, there's like backend stuff. That's usually like machine learning, or like machine learning engineering. Just like anything within those are usually like AI related stuff. even Tesla, it has AI, obviously, because of autonomous vehicles and such. And another thing you can do at Drexel is join Drexel AI, which is kind of a shameless plug for the club, but we do projects relating to AI. We have been doing research projects as a club, and we write a paper on it and we get it pre-printed or submitted to a conference or a journal, so you can get to experience that side of how to get involved in AI, do like the research side of it. Some of the projects we've done currently this term and last term, we're working on lung cancer and predicting the risk reoccurrence for a patient who has non-small cell lung cancer. So it's a really cool project that we've done. We've also done one with time series with EEG signals or ECG signals. And we've done, besides like medical related, we've done like stock market, when like GameStop was going crazy that one time. So we did a project relating to like the stock prediction of that. Yeah. No, you do not need AI experience whatsoever. The projects we do, we try to divvy up the tasks so that anyone, regardless of the experience, can like hop in on. And like, don't worry if like you don't know any AI coming in. Like, I usually like try to explain as much as I can when I make like during the meetings. So no worries. So yeah, that's what you can do at Drexel. There's probably definitely more opportunities at Drexel, but these are the ones that I definitely know. And outside of Drexel, you can do personal projects. How do you join Drexel? Yeah. Oh, we have you can just join some Dragon Link. We meet well, this term's almost over, but we've been meeting on Tuesdays at like 5 p.m. Virtually. I usually send a Zoom link. We have a Slack channel as well, so I usually like send the Zoom link there. I'll send a link to our Slack channel and like Dragon Link as well. Okay. And then outside of Drexel, you should definitely do personal projects if you want to do AI or machine learning, because you might not have like time to commit for like research projects. I know like some research, like I know some researchers at Drexel want you to do like 10-20 hours a week. Maybe not everyone can do that, but you can do like small personal projects instead. For example, you can do chat bots, sorry, or whichever field you want to do. You can do like something with an Arduino, because you can make neural networks with Arduino, which is like really cool. Or you can do something with Raspberry Pi with AI, and like play with your sensors, like autonomous vehicles or just like sensors in general. There are like a bunch of personal projects you can do if you just like Google them and get inspiration for that. Another thing you can do are hackathons. There are different hackathons that are like centered towards AI, for example, Codefest. But I think Amazon like had an AI hackathon challenge thing with like AWS, and so they have stuff like that. Also, there are other data science websites such as Kaggle. They have something called Kaggle challenges. So you basically have to apply machine learning towards like a given data set, and then you can compete and probably win like a cash prize or something. So if you and like your friends want to do it, that's like something fun you can do. And that's also like a good resume booster saying that you compete in that. So those are just a few things. There's a bunch of other ways to get involved in AI, but this is a good way to get started. So those are all my 4 steps. Those are all what I have. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shout them out or like chat it. I'm here to help. And our next workshop with Drexel AI is student experiences with AI. So I can definitely go more in depth about my own experience with AI and some of the other e-board members or just other students at Drexel as well. So if you want to know more about that, make sure you register for that as well. And then if you want to know more information, you can just scan that QR code. It has our social media, our Dragon Link, the Slack channel, and also next term at Drexel AI, we're having a conference, like a research conference. So if you're curious about that, that's also in the QR code. And yeah, that's all I have to share. Are there any, how did you personally get you first? Oh, I got interested because I used to make video games as like when I was younger. So I just thought that was cool, like how the computers work. Like when you play against like a computer. That's basically how I got started learning about it. And then I found about like all like the wide things AI has been in back then. So I think that's basically what gained my interest. And then I just like started learning different tutorials. I went on YouTube, I like a lot of YouTube videos. I already knew Python at that point, so yeah, that's basically it.
To answer the question about the recording, yes, the recording will be uploaded probably in the next few days, either on the Philly Codefest website or YouTube or both. I'll put the link to the Codefest website. It also has the link to all the upcoming workshops. Feel free to keep asking questions to Alicia about Drexel AI. If there's any, I know this is the first time Drexel AI has been working with Codefest, so some of you might not be familiar with Codefest. If there are any questions about the hackathon itself, put that in the chat as well. I can answer any questions.
Yeah. Do you think it's better to take an online course to learn about ML deep learning, or just try to get started by doing something hands-on like a tutorial? I think it depends on how you learn, really. If you learn by the online courses, since they're like broken up, go for it. I did like hands-on tutorials, like a lot of the Python machine learning libraries have tutorials there. So I just like glance through it, follow it, and then try to, do it my own way with like different data and such. If you want to go more concept based, I guess you can say, then definitely take the online courses so you can get the concepts down. But it's whichever one you prefer. Yeah, no problem. Yes, I did. For the hands-on learning, did you do that through Coursera? Yes, I did. I did that with the Stanford machine learning course I mentioned. They did that, and I also just did it through like the tutorials on like different Python libraries. So if you go to like TensorFlow, for example, they have examples of like how to use different parts of their library. So I just kind of use that as like another hands-on tutorial. Would you say you would need some experience before going to Codefest, or is it all different levels of experience to work with different people with different levels of knowledge?
I can answer that about Codefest. The answer to that is no. One of the great things about Codefest is that we have people at all skill levels, which is why we offer these workshops. We also have mentors during the event to work with you. And we have team building exercises at the event, so that if you're looking for a team, if you're looking for a particular skill, we'll help match up with that. And also, I'll put another link in the script in the chat. Once you register for Codefest, the hackathons actually run off a online portal called DevPost. And DevPost allows you the opportunity to look for you sign up, you register through DevPost, and it offers you the opportunity to look for teammates. You can search by particular skills. You can post that you're looking for a particular skill or something like that. It's a really great site and a really great way to participate in the hackathon. But for the most part, most of the people at Codefest are on the lower end of things. And it's just a really fun experience and a chance to learn from a lot of people. Wait, so is Codefest separate from these workshops? Yes, these workshops are leading up to Codefest. Codefest is a 1-week hackathon, April 4th to April 9th. Is the actual hackathon. April 4th to April 8th is the online portion, the hybrid portion of the event. April 9th is the closing ceremonies. The idea is for you to work the 4th to the 8th with a team on a project having to do with the societal impact of AI. And then on the Saturday, April 9th, you'll come here. It'll be in person here at 3675 Market, and you'll present your project to judges and a chance to win a lot of prizes, cash prizes, experiences, visits with Comcast and other executives and other local companies. It's really a great time. So the link to DevPost is in the chat. The link to the Codefest website itself is in the chat, and I also put the link for the Codefest registration in the chat as well. Deadline to apply, there's not. We'll probably close registration on Monday, the 4th of March. We want to give teams a few hours or a day or so to figure out what the team is, who the team name is, who's on the team, what the project is, and probably sometime on Tuesday, the 5th, you'll have to formally enter your team into DevPost. Do we need to be free X hours for Codefest meetings? No. That's for something for you to discuss with your team. The idea is for the week. Typically Codefest is in person, and it's usually on a Saturday. It's usually Saturday, starts at noon Saturday and runs straight through about 6 o'clock on Sunday. It's at the DAC, but because of COVID, we're doing a hybrid version this year. So no, when you get a team, you guys would determine like what your work time is, what your responsibilities are. We will have space available here at CCI if teams want to actually come and work in person. There will be space here. There'll also be mentors from some of the companies, from the sponsors, and there'll be some other events with some of the sponsors here in person at 3675. But no, you don't. That the amount of time you work on projects will be, you can determine that with your team. Is it strictly for Drexel students or all teams be with outsiders? It's not strictly for Drexel students. So teams can be, it's for college students. We can't allow high school students. But if you have friends in other schools who you want to work with, you can certainly do that. Or if you'd like to work with professionals, it's open to professionals as well. If you have friends who are in industry, you can feel free to work with them. Or if you feel like you do want to work with industry, if you want to get a little bit more experience with one of the sponsors, you can reach out to me directly, and I can help match you up with a what we call collaborative team, a team of students and professionals, a mix. And here is the link to Codefest. Registration just kicked off last week. Today, like Alicia said, it's our second workshop. We have at least 2 workshops lined up for every week. There'll be more added as we bring sponsors on board. Next week, Drexel AI will be giving their talking about their experiences in AI. Next week, we also have a workshop on next Thursday. We have a workshop on NFTs presented by Drexel Blockchain. So we're working with a lot of student orgs. And we'll be announcing more and more workshops as the time goes on. And everything is free, even the event itself.
Yeah, and I also just put in the chat my Drexel email, just in case you guys have any questions, or if you want me to send you guys some of the resources I mentioned as well.
Grace, yes. So if you register for Codefest, so I put the registration link in there. And then you go to the DevPost site, which I also put in there. You know what? Let me share my screen. I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so if you go, so once you register for Philly Codefest, the registration's through Eventbrite. So you register for Philly Codefest here, you'll get your confirmation, and then you can visit our DevPost site, which is in the confirmation email you receive. You go to, well, I'll go to the back end, but you go to Philly Codefest 2022. Up here, you'll say, I'm already registered for Codefest. So there'll be a button here that says register for Codefest. You'll register. That means you're registered for DevPost. You'll go to participants. And here you can basically identify yourself, your skills, your interests, and then you can scroll through. You can filter by what you're looking for. Who's looking for teammates, who has a team, who has specialties, what their specialties are. And this way you can find out. And then you can contact them through DevPost and you can build teams that way. It's a really great, it's actually a really great system. We've been using it for several years and it really makes things better. And like Alicia said, she's the expert. Drexel AI is the expert with AI. Unfortunately, I'm not a tech person. I work at a tech school, but I'm not a tech person. So I can answer any questions about Codefest or things about that. But if you have more technical questions like ideas for projects or how to implement a project, Alicia and her team will be the best people to contact for that. And as we get closer to Codefest itself, and once we start announcing sponsors, we'll have some sponsor mentors available, and they'll also be able to provide assistance.
Yeah, and another thing, I know if you guys have also questions about like where you can apply AI, like not just software, you can also use AI in hardware as well. So you have like hardware questions about that, you can just let me know as well.
Does anyone have any other questions? Okay, if not, Alicia, I want to thank you and I want to thank Drexel AI for this presentation today. It was really, really informative. So I think it's a great start to Codefest to get everybody on board with Codefest. And I also want to thank everybody, all the students for attending as well. Like I said, register for Philly Codefest, go on DevPost, and you'll see links to all our workshops coming up. Like I said, we have at least 2 workshops coming up every week, and there'll be more added once I get some times and dates from our sponsors. Next week, we'll start announcing our sponsors. So you'll start to see who will be there. We have some great sponsors lined up. So we hope everyone will come and visit the sponsors. And as we get closer to the Codefest, we'll start announcing the challenges that we have. This year we have cash prizes. We have at least $5,000 in cash prizes. I think it's going to be a little bit more, and we have a lot of prizes lined up, such as trips to companies and possibly conference tickets and things like that. So looking forward to a great event. So thanks everybody again. This recording, this session is being recorded and it will be posted on the Codefest website and the Codefest YouTube channel probably within the next couple of days. So feel free to watch. If you have any questions about anything, again, feel free to reach out to Alicia. Feel free to reach out to me. My name is Dave Braken. And my email is dr366@drexel.edu. I am a program manager for events and logistics here at CCI, and I am I'm one of the small team that runs Philly Codefest. So if you have questions about Codefest, feel free to reach out to me, and hope to see everybody soon. Thank you. Thanks, Alicia.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome.